in the previous we are looking at these 6 important things, and each one of you must be able to do this alone yourself. Okay, so you remember this PowerPoint we looked at, eh? So these are the most important key things that you were able to do. First of all, we did this. The first thing we did was number 1, where we were talking about looking at a target, let's say a website, and if you are to like penetrate that organization, first thing that you are going to see first is a website. So as a hacker, you can perform what is called the reconnaissance or information gathering on that website, okay, by performing 1 up to 6. So the way it is, Kylie, when you are a hacker, you sometimes do not have information really on an organization. So you don't really have information on that particular organization because you are outside there, you are that side there, outside. So the only place where you can gather information about this particular organization is from the website or its website, from the organization's website, okay? So one of the steps that you perform and to do reconnaissance and information gathering is being able to look at this website and being able to download the index file of the target organization's website. Okay, so this we were able to do, and I desire that each one of you must be able to do this. I think you did this and you sent me assignments. Okay, fine. So if you are able to do this, you are able to download the index file. Then you are able to, number 2, also look over the file. Look over the file, appreciate how the index file was coded, appreciate the information in the index file. From the index file, be able to identify subdomains within the index file, because it's an index file which will tell you what subdomains exist in this organization. Okay, so those subdomains represents also other servers or computers or the range of IP addresses that are found in this organization. So basically, by getting this index file, you'll be able to identify the subdomains and the IP addresses that are, or the IP address range that are found in this organization. So it is from these IP addresses that you can now automate the processes of finding these IP addresses by writing what we were calling bash scripts. I desire again that you should be able to do it personally, individually. Okay, 1 up to 6. So we are able to write those scripts, identify the IP addresses, then write another bash script to ping, okay, those IP addresses. So if the IP addresses responded, then you are able to say, okay, the computers behind these IP addresses are alive and kicking. So once you know that these devices are alive, then you can now move to a second level of how you can now penetrate those machines behind the IP addresses. Okay, so in this, you were able to write another bash script that was able to send ICMP requests or the ping sweeps. And most of the IP addresses were responding May I ask you a question? Are you individually able to perform this 1 up to 6? Individually, not as watching someone doing it, no. Individually. Are you? Somebody else. I'll end it here. That. Somebody else. You aren't answering. Are you able individually to perform 1 up to 6?
Yes, I'm able to do that.
I am very happy. Okay. Okay, so today let's proceed. We move a step further. Let me unshare this one and then share another one. So this was just a recap, okay? We'll see. We can now proceed. Okay, fine. So the next thing we're going to look at are essential tools. Okay, so essential tools are important when we're performing hacking. Just 1 minute. Essential tools are very important when you are performing the hacking or penetration testing. Okay, so sometimes you can start with one task or process to do information gathering. When you have gathered the information by using few commands and bash scripts, which will give you certain information. Okay. By the way, when you run a bash script, it will give you these IP addresses. You can actually pipe them. When you pipe the information, it will give you the output of the IP addresses which are responding, which are found in this organization. You have it on a text page or on a piece of paper. Okay. Now, after you have got those IP addresses that you have collected from this organization, the next thing to do is now to use essential tools to help you move further in your penetration, in your hacking. How to get? So those are the essential tools. So essential tools are very important in the sense that sometimes when you are trying to penetrate this organization, you find that some information that you receive or presented to you does not give you the whole story. But you need essential tools that should help you further to unfold the story about this organization. That's why we use essential tools. It's like someone who's doing gardening. First of all, you are looking at the soil, which is nafika tanifumaro. Then you need the tool called Lucas. Lucas first the soil then Ulukasu has done its part. But now you need something to smoothen the soil. You need the rake. Have you seen that is an essential tool now to smoothen the soil? You need the rake to smoothen the soil. After a rake has done its part, you need another tool, maybe to make beds. Maybe kaspedi, kupanga beds manja ya musara. After kaspedi, you need another tool, maybe what do you call those? You need another tool, essential tool. So in hacking also we have essential tools that you can use to go beyond the first stage of your reconnaissance. Okay? Of your what? Reconnaissance. So after we identified the IP addresses and we pinged those IP addresses, we discovered that those IP addresses were actually able to respond. So the next thing to do is now to look at what ports exist. We pick the IP address. We want to scan the IP address and look at what ports are open on this IP address, because the IP address is a server behind, or is a server who was assigned the IP address. Basically, when you're looking at the IP address, you're looking at the server that is using this IP address. So this server has what are called ports, which are open. A port is like a door into this server. A port, if you like, is like a window to enter into this server, a door to enter into this server. Okay, so what is a port? If you are going to a country by using the sea, you know the first thing that you arrive at? You arrive at a port of Dar es Salaam, for example. Wafumina ko India na ship. When you reach a port of Dar es Salaam. You have to dock. Right, as a docking ship for a port. You know that port is an entry. Okay, so in the system, we call them system ports. A port is a virtual point where network connections start and end. Ports are software-based and managed by computer operating system and network operating systems. So when you see an IP address is responding, you can scan it further to see what ports are open on this server. Sometimes you scan using certain important essential tools. You can scan further this IP address and it will give you what operating system is running, what applications are running, what ports are open. Now we are using essential tools. Okay? You're using essential tools. So you can uncover much more information by using essential tools. Are we together? By using essential tools. Okay? So you discover that this issue of ports on the systems or on the computers or server are actually very, very important. Those who are managing them and also for those who are protecting them. Activity purpose for use. You want systems to use these ports. But the sad thing, like we were saying, is that these same ports are normally exploited by hackers. Okay. Exploited by hackers, even if you are using them for important purpose. So let me close this. I close, I reshare. Then what I shall want us to do is, yes, and then I reshare. Don't worry about it. I hope not that I've lost anyone, have I? Okay, so that's how ports are normally opened, but hackers can exploit these ports. That's a problem. Even if you want to use these ports for most important things. Right. So the remedy is that if the ports are posing a threat to your system or your systems, on your infrastructure, you can actually close the ports so that hackers are not able to exploit the ports to attack your system. But it's a bit tricky. Some ports cannot be closed. For example, on my web server, which I use for putting our website for Copperbelt University out there, it uses a port called 443. Oh, sorry. It uses port 443 as a number. That port is encrypted. It uses SSL certificate. Okay? Even if hackers were trying to exploit that port, I cannot close it because that's where my website is running from. On my web server, the web server has opened this door called port 443, and that's where it gives out the web page or the website. So from this door, I cannot close this door. That door, it means that the website will no longer be available on the internet. People will go CPUW, I can't find it. CPUWW, I can't find it because I've closed the port. So I'll keep it open so that when people type, the request comes straight, enter into our system, and then the system gives you the website. Are we together? So, but there are certain ports on your computer which are open, which were opened some time back, which are open yesterday, which were opened, which will be opened in the future, which you are not aware of. Some of these ports become unnecessary, such that they expose your system to vulnerabilities or to attacks. So the remedy or remediation is that you can close them. Okay? For security purposes, you can close these unnecessary open ports. So what does it entail? It simply means that when ports are opened on a system, it's important to know what this port is doing. It is also important to know what services are running on this port. Okay? Those ports which are opened, which are not doing anything, it's important that you close them. Why? Because they are open for nothing. And they are simply open doors which can make hackers attack your system. Which can attract hackers to attack your system. Because when a hacker is inside, outside, when he scans your environment, he will discover several open ports which are not being used. And he will be very glad to attack you from any angle. It's like you're looking at a house which has so many open doors. No, normally by default houses have got a front and a back door. But this particular house will have doors in the front, doors in the back, doors on the sides, doors on the left, doors on the left, doors on the roof, doors underneath. So you see, that's what your system will look like if you have so many ports opened on it. So this example can apply to your laptop that you are using right now, or it can apply also to your servers in your organization. So what does a pen tester do? They scan their system to see what ports are opened. If there are so many unnecessary ports, they should be able to close those which are not necessary. So as security people, we normally look at our servers and scan them for ports, and those ports which are not being used for anything, we close all of them. Services like website, like email, like, you get the point. That's what we do. So now, if you have got a laptop, I'd like you to do this activity. Now, this is activity, lab activity number 1. Okay? You go to your Windows System 32. Can I share something right now? System 32, and type netstart. When you type netstart -A, you press enter. Or just there on the Windows, type netstart. When you type netstart, your computer will show what ports are open. Can I share something right now? I just want to demonstrate this, which you should.
Sir.
Okay, so let me just demonstrate this, which you should also be able to do. Okay, so I'll stop sharing. I will share now this window. That's how we'll be moving in this 9. Hi, George. That's how we'll be moving. Hi, George. Fine. So I presume you can see. Can you see? I presume you can see. My presumption is that you can see. Tomorrow morning, if you want to stop, and guys. Okay, are you able to see?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so I want to show you how many ports are opened on this computer, which are not doing anything, which have exposed my system. So I type net start. I show for you net start minus A. So if I press enter, have you seen that he has opened these ports? Now yanganani manje. Maona manje ma ports which are useless. TCP/IP, the protocol that is running on these ports, TCP/IP, local IP address, of course, is showing as 000, but the port number is here. Can you see the port number? Okay, so TCP/IP protocol, and it's still showing me some more established. So amongst these IP addresses, these ports are connected. So this is connected to WhatsApp, established. This one is connected to what I don't know. That one is connected to what I don't know. There could be a hacker here who was connected and established the connection. I don't know. Only the ports with these numbers, I don't know. Just imagine. And some of the ports on top here are listening. No, they are listening. When they are listening, they are inviting anyone to connect to them. Hey, come. Hey, guys, so if a hacker somewhere was scanning my computer or my network and he discovers my computer, he will see ports which are inviting them. For example, 135 is advertising. Oh, come. 443 is advertising. 902 advertising. 912, 54 advertising. All of them are advertising. But then some of them are even connected to what I don't know. Well, the only one I know is WhatsApp. WhatsApp, okay, in WhatsApp, it's a service established. Good. I'm okay with it. Now let me unveil some more. So if I type, so if I type some more ports, net start minus AN, yanganani man, if you see more ports which are open for nothing with various established connections. So let me stop this sharing. Like we were saying that you must be able to open ports yourself on your computer. You must be able to close or edit ports yourself on the computer. But if you are not sure of the ports, don't tamper with them, because some ports will make your computer stop working. Because some of the ports are essential for system, operating system files, okay, or network related connections. So if you're not sure, don't tamper with it. So it's important to know what is running on these ports. So let me share this again. Share the window. All right, necessary. A as penetration tester. Are we together? Fine. So activity lab number 1, which you will need to do, is this. So you have a task like that's activity number 1 that you need to do. Many ports that you may not understand, even yourself, will be opened on your machine. Okay, it will be opened on your machine or on your server if you are running servers for an organization. Okay, so as a hacker or penetration tester, you need to know these ports, their services, their use, whether or not there are possibilities of exploiting them. If they are exploitable, then find ways of how you can secure them, how you can close them, how you can edit them, because some of the ports which are opened are unsecure. Some ports are secure, some ports are unsecure. So you need to know if the ports are secure or not secure. For example, if you are running a website on your laptop or on a server, normally websites run on port 80 and port 443. So port 80, if it is open, it's referred to as an unsecure port. Area when you go to a website and it says it displays security owners list, you wish to proceed. In port 80, yeah. If you find port 443, then you know it will give you HTTPS. It is a secure, it has got it's a certificate from an authorized issuer, from an unauthorized certificate authority. So find ways of how you can secure them. Okay, so if you are running port 80, make sure that you close it and open port 443. That is one way of securing. Okay, they are exploitable. Find ways of how you can close them. If they are not serving any purpose, close them. Okay, then also demonstrate on live class. So what is your assignment? Your assignment is okay, how are you going to handle this assignment? Okay, let me devise a way of how you're going to handle this assignment. Fine, this is a lab activity 1 for all of you. Okay. How many are we still? We are still how many in this class? Did I hear something like 95 or 100? I heard something like 95, 100. Oh, whatever cheaper.
That's the number that was reported this year.
There are some who reported this year.
That's the number that have come back this year.
Oh, 88.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do this. How many groups do you want to, can you make from this group of 88? So make sure in each tab or a laptop, check what ports are open. Analyze how you can secure those ports. Like for example, I was saying, if you are running a website, port 80 is referred to as unsecure port. But it is essential for running a website. Are we together? An unsecure port. So if you use port 80 to run a website, you will discover that the website will be saying, this website that you have visited is not secure. Let me just check what it says exactly. When you run this port, it says, what does it say? Unsecure port. An unsecure port. Okay, it issues a warning. It issues a warning. And when it issues a warning, it will tell you that this port is not secure, or the website you are visiting is not secure. So then it says, at your owner's risk, do you understand the implications or the security implications? If you say yes, it gives you an advanced option. So when you click on advanced, you accept, then it will open the website at your owner's risk. Okay? So in this task, You will find ways of how you can secure. So now, how to secure port 80, which will serve the same purpose. Let's say if you were running, I'm giving you an example. If you were running a website, okay, you can use port 80, but it's deemed to be unsecure. But how you can secure it? It means you can change the port from 80 to 443. So it means that when you change from port 80 to 443, it means you apply what is called an SSL certificate. SSL certificate. So SSL certificate normally comes with SHA encryption, 256 or 1024. Okay? So that is how you can secure the port. So which means if you identify, for example, port 135 on your machine, for example, this one, you have identified this port. You will say how to secure this port. Okay? You will say how to secure this port. You will say how to secure this port. Maybe one of the options is to close it, or other option is to use an alternative counterpart port. Okay? So before you say the alternative counterpart port, you also say what service runs or can be running on 135, or for what purpose is 135 open? What service is running on 135? What am I saying? So what I'm saying is on each port, you will be saying what service is running. Okay, from the computer that you have analyzed, what service is running, what service is running, how you can secure that port. Okay. So once you have found it, you can determine whether you can close the port or you can leave it open. Why is it important? Is it important such that you can't close it, or you can leave it open, or you can close it? Okay, then you have to demonstrate in your group, which means that you will present as a group 1. For example, you will tell us the computer you analyzed, what ports you found, what is port 135, you explain what is port 443, you explain what is port 445, you explain, or maybe let's say each group should present up to how many ports? How many ports identified as vulnerable? Up to how many ports can you present? 5?
2, sir. 2.
How you achieve pressure 2? Okay, so you will choose which ports you would want to, on the computer that you are going to analyze, you will choose, let's say, 5 ports, and you will explain to us what these ports are doing on your machine. Because if you are going to be a pen tester and you have identified the ports on your servers or on your server, you must know what ports they are, what purpose that they serve. You can determine how you can secure them, whether you can close or leave them open. If you're going to leave them open, how can you secure them? How you can use alternative secure counterparts. Okay? So at least 5 would do. For example, from my computer, I can choose port 445. I know how important it is. Port 4966. Okay? So some of these, how you can know them is by Google. What service runs on port 443? Google will explain to you port 443 is a Windows, so it's used for so that's how you identify. So you will explain to us the ports that you have identified. So first of all, you show us this kind, then you tell us you have identified TCP port, so, port, port, so. And now let us explain. Then you explain to us what that port is doing, why you can close them, why you cannot close them. And if you cannot close them, what alternative port can you use? Are we okay? Can you use? Okay, so at least up to 5 ports. In your presentation, you will tell us up to 5 ports. They will also present what they have analyzed, what ports they have found on their computer, because they, from computer to computer, ports are going to be different. Because computers normally do different things on the network, so they will be different. And then they will also explain to us why these ports, why it can be closed, why it cannot be closed, why it is important on this computer. How can they secure it? Is it a secure port or it's not a secure port? They will explain to us. Is it a secure port? They will explain. Is it a secure port? They will explain. Why it? If it's unnecessary, then close. If it's not necessary, they cannot close. Why? They explain. Are we together? I hope the activity, the lab activity is clear.
We are not clear.
The alternative port which is secure for running a website is 443. So that is the ways of how you can close them, or if you cannot close them, how you can use a counterpart. So you say, we would rather close this one, leave the other one open because it's a secure port. Okay, I guess this is now clear. I presume. Is that clear?
Question, sir?
Yes.
Not on the lab we went today. Not on the part of the lab that you've given us, but based on what we've learned today.
Okay.
Yes, you've demonstrated on how we can find open ports on our computers, like laptops. Now, how is it done if we want to find open ports on the server? Is there any software that are being used or any connection that is being established?
Okay. Anyway, as we are moving, looking at essential tools, so there are so many other software that we can use to find those open ports, but they are redundant. They are that's what, in other words, that's where we are going. So on the computer, you have used the command prompt. So the command prompt, you're using netstart. For Windows, you have CMD, netstart. If you use a Clifford Siatala, netstart, and it brings.
What question, Professor?
So on Windows, you are just using netstart on the command line to identify ports on your laptop. The same way you have identified on the laptop, you can also find it. You can also do it on the server by going to sit on the server, go to command line, net -a or -an to show you on the server what ports are open. Just the same way. So that's just command line on Windows. So whether on a server platform or on a home computer, it will still bring you the ports which are open. So now, since you are a security person, you need to know what the implication of those ports. Okay, some of them can be closed, some of them can be left open if they run certain services. Okay, so if you leave too many open, we are saying that you normally expose your system, because hackers will exploit it. Okay, so that is now also what is coming in the lab activity 1. So you basically do what I've done. So you will find the ports up to 5. You only the beauty is that you only choose 5, because I know laptops will display a lot, but you only choose 5, and explain to us as a way of demo on, and then demonstrate to us, explain the ports. You understand what I'm saying? Have you understood on this part? Ati? Have you understood? All right. Okay, fine. So that's lab 1. So as we proceed now, we'll look at the more essential tools that we are going to look at, which will actually bring a lot of ports. Okay? Yes. Fine, fine, fine. Are we good to go? Are we good to go? Can we proceed?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now we are moving to the next step. So lab 1, before